Welcome to Being Real with Olivia. My name is Olivia Olinger and I love movies and shows. One of my favorite Netflix shows, Arcane, has a season 2 coming out this November. I've been breaking down every single episode and recapping it in my other videos. I've done the first and second episode and we're on the third right now. So if you haven't seen those ones already, go check them out. But if you have, then let's get started. This episode is insane. A lot happens and it's super intense and crazy. In the last episode, we ended with a cliffhanger. Jace and Victor were going behind the council's back to practice magic, and Vi was going to sacrifice herself and turn herself into the Piltover guards. Which is exactly what this episode starts with. Vi was waiting at Benzo's shop, but instead of the Piltover guards coming to get her, Vander showed up. Since the Piltover guards were right around the corner, Vander locks Vi in the cellar and turns himself in. The guards were taking him away, but something interrupts them. If you remember from the first 2 episodes, the scary man, his name is Silko, and he comes back in this one, but he's not alone. He brings with him his weird monster abomination. And he has the boy/monster kill head officer Grayson and Benzo, which I was super upset about because Benzo was really chill, and Officer Grayson, she was too, you know? She didn't do anything. She was on Vander's side. She was, kind of working with him. And that's not all he does. He, of course, captures Vander because it turns out that, he knows him, and I think those two have, beef together or something. I guess we'll see later. Remember how I said, literally just in the last episode, I was excited to see what happens? Yeah, I take that back. Since something violent, crazy, insane, and confusing happened, they're gonna switch the scene on us because why not? Jace and Victor are working on their magic and science experiment. They have come up with something called Hextech, which is a magical technology that combines spirit and elemental magic, which is also the blue orbs that Powder has. We then see where Vander is. Silko brings him to this old abandoned warehouse where he keeps all of his weird experiments and his messed up bases. The purple goo that he uses on people and animals, he calls Shimmer, and he wants to use it against Piltover to gain respect and be the leader, even though he's doing it in the most messed up way possible. It is then revealed that Vander and Silko were friends. They were so close, they were almost like brothers. But then Vander betrayed him by trying to drown him and kill him, which that wasn't cool, but also Silko was doing some pretty crazy, terrifying, awful things, so bro really had no other choice. Back to Jace and Victor. This episode has a lot of, jumps around between characters and people, so bear with me here. They break into Jace's old office that contains all of his work and experiments. They were going to retrieve it because it was going to be destroyed, but they get caught by one of the council members, Medarda. She was low-key impressed with what Jason and Victor were doing, so she tells them they have one night to prove to her that they can really make this work. Meanwhile, Vi, Milo, and Clagger leave to save Vander. And Powder, being upset that she couldn't go, comes up with a plan. She's gonna put the Hextech in her trinkets, since she knows they are powerful and might actually work with them. Vi and the boys easily break into the building and see Vander as they begin to break him out. For a super unhinged, terrifying man who has creepy monster hybrid experiments, they sure got in there a little too easy. Almost like Silko or someone was waiting for them. Oh wait, he was. Since bro woke up and shows violence today, he has his henchmen fight Vi, while Milo works on breaking Vander out and Clagger's just, I don't really know what he was doing in that scene. But it's okay because a super awesome fight scene broke out. Vi put on Vander's gloves and she's all pow, 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 yeah. The henchmen were all oh my gosh, no! That was exactly what happened. While Vi is kicking their butts, Powder is standing on the roof with her new magic weapons, but maybe she'll be able to help, cause Vi defeated all the henchmen, but now she has to fight the OP boss, the giant, scary monster thing. Pow, pow. Things also aren't going so well for Jace and Victor either now. Professor Heimerdinger found out and wasn't as thrilled, But thankfully, under peer pressure, Jace manages to figure it out right as Counselor Medarda and Professor Heimerdinger walk in, making the experiment a beautiful success. It seems like there's going to be an all-around celebration. Jace and Victor got their magic worked out and impressed Counselor Medarda, and things in Zaun are turning back around too. It is revealed what Clagger's been doing the whole time, which is trying to break a wall, which he managed to do, so now there's a huge hole in the wall where they can escape. And Milo managed to break Vander out of his chains and cuffs. Just let this small 2-second victory sink in. I'm not gonna ruin it for you quite yet. Okay, moments up, that's all you get. Powder decides to step in now. She unleashes the trinkets with the Hextech in them, and out of all the chances they had to work, now they finally decide to. But they were way too powerful. They blew up the whole building, which includes Milo and Clagger, killing them. And of course the bad guys survive, because why wouldn't they? But Silko is angry. He has his monster fight Vander, and Vi is trapped under a bar, so she can't help. Silko decides to team up with the monster, which is really not cool since Vander was already fighting the monster. Silko sneaks up behind him and stabs him in the back. Figuratively and literally. Which just isn't cool. Like, everybody knows if you're, like, already in a fight with someone, you can't, like, step in until that person's done fighting the other person. Like, as a Fortnite player, I wait for the other people to finish killing each other before I step in to clean up the mess. I'm done bragging now. Silko tosses him off the bridge, leaving Vander there to start dying. Vander has no energy and no way to save Vi in his human form. So he takes Shimmer, fighting the monster, leaving Silko to be a coward and run away. It worked and he managed to save Vi, but at the cost of his life. Powder, Vi, and the bad guys being the only people to survive. And Vi just watched literally everyone die in front of her face because of her sister, and Powder had no idea that she killed anyone yet, so she runs up to Vi and she's like, Vi, I did it, I helped. And the look Vi gives her, Vi is like, you did this? Vi freaks out at Powder and, like, walks away, just, like, leaving her in that alley to, like, calm down so she doesn't, like, fight her. But at that moment, Silko found her. And before Vi realized, someone, like, captured Vi and took her away so that she couldn't save Powder. Powder, thinking Vi left her on purpose and had no idea that she got captured and was gonna go back and save her, decided to join Silko. This whole scene was heartbreaking to watch, and just, like, a lot, because as the audience, we can see, like, why Vi was upset, because if Powder would have just listened to Vi and stayed home, Vander, Milo, Clagger, Vi, they all would have been okay and managed to escape. But we can also see, like, why Powder thought Vi left her, and why Powder was just like, I just wanted to be a part of something. And you can just see the comparison between Silko and Powder as Silko looks over to Vander's dead body and how he believed that Vander betrayed him, just like how Powder believes that Vi betrayed her. Powder and Silko were both hurt that the people they cared about left them, even though Vi didn't really leave Powder, but she doesn't know that yet. And that is the end of the episode, but I would just like to talk about some of the characters first. Powder and Vi had to go through a lot throughout their lives. Like, when they were 8 and 10 years old, they, like, watched their family die and watched, like, their city burning. Like, they didn't exactly have a great childhood, and that can really, like, all that trauma can really mess with someone. So Powder was already a wreck to begin with, and it didn't help that Milo was kind of mean to her and always called her, like, a jinx and a mess-up, which also, like, she took that to heart, too. Where Vi was a little stronger, since she went through so much trauma and, like, been through a lot, it shaped her to be, like, more rough and tough and have a thicker skin. She was able to handle it. This episode got super crazy and intense out of nowhere for, like, only being the 3rd episode, which is what I really love about the show. It picks right up. It doesn't take its time. They introduce, like, more characters and more plot lines right away, like the stuff in Zaun versus the stuff in Piltover. Overall, it's such a cool concept. Like, 2 cities, Zaun and Piltover, like, fighting with each other because one of them is in poverty, Zaun, and Piltover is, like, this beautiful, magical, thriving city. But there's also so much lore, like, with all the magic and some of, like, the spiritual world. And also just, like, the characters in Zaun, because they've all been through so much. And even though this episode was really depressing because it killed off, like, amazing characters that really started to grow on you, it only gets better and better. And I'm really excited now to talk about the rest of the episodes with you, because the first 3 were kind of introducing all the drama and, like, setting up the plot, and now episode 4 is where things are gonna actually start up. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this episode and video, and like if you've enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any more episodes. Hopefully I'll see you around.